Hello, I'm J.S. Puller, and I am the author of Captain Superlative from Little Brown Young Readers. Once upon a time I wanted to be an actor, but I haven't been on stage for years, which is my way of saying please be patient with me, because today I am going to read the first couple pages of Captain Superlative for everyone here. We released paper lanterns into the night. They floated toward the moon. I don't know who brought them. None of this was planned. We all just found ourselves in the parking lot of Deerwood Park Middle School, sitting on the hoods of SUVs, our legs sticking to the paint in the heat of an Illinois summer. We watched the lanterns dance and twirl, going higher and higher. They were like a school of skyfish, moving together as one. Captain Superlative would have loved seeing them, and seeing us, too. The entire 7th grade class. Technically 8th graders in the top of the food chain now that it was July. Even though she was gone, I heard her voice again. I'm going to be a superhero. I smiled a little bit, imagining that I could feel her warmth and her presence at my side, just behind my shoulder where she liked to stand. The glittering lanterns turned into the glow-in-the-dark stars stuck to the ceiling of her bedroom. I was almost there with her, like a breeze in the air, watching as she sat on the foot of her bed in her pink PJs, her lopsided blue wig like a crown on her head. I'm going to be a superhero. It was her voice, that stubborn, determined voice that sounded so confident that you couldn't help but believe anything she said. She wasn't saying it to anyone, though, just to herself. She was alone, staring at the wallpaper of cabbage roses. I'm going to be a superhero. That's how I like to believe it began. Of course, no one knows for sure how it really happened. There were plenty of different versions that popped up over the course of the second semester. They were just stories, though. Half-truths and imaginings, jokes and guesses. They passed from one person to the next, each listener adding their own special little twist to it. Soon the characters, once simple classmates, were bigger than before, stronger, better, superlative. I think, in her case, maybe the word was justified. She earned the right to be called superlative. Janie? A real voice, a voice in the present tense, Paige's voice. I turned to look at her along the line of my shoulder. The light of the lanterns played against the dark planes of her face, across the tops of her cornrows. She looked angelic, like a little fairy. It was remarkable how much she'd changed since January. She was an entirely different person now, head held high. But I could see the swollen bags under her eyes, the glistening beneath her nose. She was hurting. We all were. I slid down from the hood of my dad's car and walked over to Paige. Our arms wrapped around each other's waists, and we turned to watch the lanterns together. I was thinking about her this morning, Paige said after a few moments of companionable silence. No need to ask who she was talking about. There was only one her. Me too, I said. What about her? Just how it's going to be weird, she said. What? Not seeing her every day. Yeah. But she wouldn't want us getting all weepy about it. Paige let out a small, breathy laugh. Probably not. You know exactly what she would say. Something about not wasting time, being sad when there was work to be done and citizens in need. I smiled. Exactly. Doors to open and giants to slay. Captain Superlative was so annoyingly set in her ways. Not everyone can just decide who it is they're going to be. Especially not at the age of 12. A lot of us need to figure it out over time, and we usually screw it up. More than once, more than 5 times or 10. The road to figuring out who you are is paved with failures, but that's life. I guess you could say I speak from experience. One particular experience, really. A wild ride that began back in January. And that is the opening of Captain Superlative. It's, of course, available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and at libraries, but in this extraordinary time of need, I hope that you'll consider supporting your local bookstores. when times are troubled, we need superlative people to help us find a way through. The question of Captain Superlative is, will you be superlative? And I think you will. Anyway, thank you very much for listening to me read today, and best wishes to you and your families. Please stay safe.